Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, a pledge by the Nurses Association to further restructure the service post-COVID-19 pandemic. DHDA President encourages Dominicans to support Staycation 2020. And COVID-19 forces regional governments to revisit the way the CSMA is implemented. The details coming up.
Avec Flow, animateur on top up, sign up, quittez yo, every video join Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Away $40,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
First up in the news, Dominican nurses promised the continued restructuring of the service after the COVID-19 pandemic. Andrea Louis reports.
The word from Health Minister Dr. The Honorable Irvin McIntyre on the observance of International Nurses Day on Tuesday. International Nurses Day is observed worldwide on 12th May, the birthday of Florence Nightingale, who is the founder of modern nursing. This year marks Nightingale's 200th birthday and as such has been deemed the year of the nurse and midwife. International Nurses Day 2020 is being recognized under the theme Nurses, a Voice to Lead, Nursing the World to Health. The health minister says the theme focuses on the true value of nurses to the world, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. Nurses were further commended as key players, change agents, and crisis managers in the implementation of strategies of the Health Ministry to achieve its mandate.
Meantime, Principal Nursing Officer Terilia Ravalier says nurses have played a key role in Dominica's development. Dominica has been hit with several disasters in recent times, and nurses have helped the country return to normal.
Dominica has been seasoned with crises over the past few years. Tropical Storm Erica in 2015 and Hurricane Maria in 2017, where nurses were unsung heroes in responding to the health needs of the population. We witnessed their tireless effort, sleepless nights, and neglect of their families and much more to work 24 hours a day in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. And now, in 2020, the country yet again has been relying on the nurses to combat this deadly coronavirus pandemic.
As frontline workers, nurses have committed themselves to helping end the COVID-19 pandemic.
It is quite obvious that nurses are the core of healing the world. Nurses have been performing extraordinarily by stepping directly into the path of this COVID-19 pandemic to aid in the gloom and help halt the spread of this virus around the world, including our homeland, Dominica. We have provided Dominicans a degree of reassurance that we will overcome this pandemic. And nurses here have been doing a phenomenal job at it thus far.
The principal nursing officer also extended condolences to the government and people of Cuba on the recent death of a member of the Cuban Medical Brigade who arrived in Dominica to help in the fight against COVID-19. In other news now, COVID-19 is expected to have a significant impact on the way the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, or CSME, is implemented. That was one of the outcomes of CARICOM's 50th meeting of the Council for Trade and Economic Development, which was held via video conference earlier this month. Joseph Cox is CARICOM's Assistant Secretary General for Trade and Economic Integration. He speaks on the blueprint CARICOM trade ministers approved for reopening regional economies.
It is not business as usual, and it can't be business as usual. We'll have to interrogate every single aspect of the program for what's relevance and how do we treat with this as the region goes forward. And that's one aspect of it. We also did, we also had a lot of interventions regarding the CET suspension framework, whereby several countries made applications for suspensions, again, to treat with some of the challenges that they're having. Some of it is normal operational things like pharmaceuticals, etc. But some of the requests also dealt with items specific to what is coming out and what some of the challenges that some countries are facing coming out of the COVID pandemic. Now, one of the challenges that we also raised with the countries in the meeting was that please be very sure and be very careful in terms of quantities that are being applied for, one. Two, increase the emphasis on intermediate inputs and items related to food stuff, yes, but absolutely necessary food stuff, with the proviso that you really should seek to avoid, one, crowding out your local industry. albeit we are in extraordinary times, but you have to ensure that you don't overdo what you're doing, and using an overabundance of caution and then end up negating the impact of you on the industry. That's one. And two, when you're also looking at the framework that you're looking at, you have to do it in such a way that you don't compromise your revenue flows of your country unduly.
At that meeting, a strategic framework or blueprint was approved on how to reopen the region's economies in a safe and coherent way.
So you'll be looking at things like hospitalization rates and death rates. You'll be looking at whether or not you have sufficient supplies of your personal protective equipment. It also, the strategy also deals with how do you safely reopen the sectors now, whether it be manufacturing, distribution.
Cox says confidence is key to reopening the region's economies.
This entire initiative must be founded upon confidence, and confidence to your customers. Now when people hear us speak about customers, that's what we're talking about. You have two sets of customers you have to treat. Your external customers and your internal customers. Because let's be very clear, if your workforce, which is your internal customer, if your workforce is not sufficiently confident in their safety, you might well have a challenge in getting people to go back to work. As we are seeing now in China, where absentee rates are actually increasing. So that's one. Two, your external customers, so for example, a lot of the countries are tourism dependent or tourism center. If your tourists, if your visitors do not feel that the destination is safe and that the requisite provisions are in place for them to be safe, then you will find the reluctance because people have choices.
CSEC and KIPP students will be sitting their exams in July this year. That was the decision coming out of the first emergency virtual meeting of the Council for Human and Social Development, COSHOD. The meeting, chaired by Antigua and Barbuda's Education Minister Michael Brown, was attended by Ministers of Education, Senior Ministry of Education officials from across CARICOM, and key stakeholders including CXC and the University of the West Indies. The Registrar of the Caribbean Examinations Council, Dr. Wayne Wesley, explained the administration of the modified examination process for the award of valid grades. He said preserving the integrity of the exams was critical. He said while the proposed revised administration schedule for examinations is July 2020, there was need for a regional consensus considering the impact of COVID-19 and the respective national protocols. The meeting also agreed to have exams administered through e-testing in countries equipped with the infrastructure. However, where there were challenges, candidates would be allowed to sit paper-based exams. The CXC, in collaboration with the UE, presented another proposal at the meeting in relation to requirements for KIPP applicants for 2020 admission. Their proposal to accept KIPP Unit 1 plus previous results to serve as matriculation to UE for the next academic year was accepted by the Council. The Council adopted public health guidelines for the reopening of schools as proposed in the report from Executive Director of the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, Dr. Joy St. John. The report from CARPHA included initial guidance on the development of protocols for reopening of schools in the response, recovery and resilience phases of the crisis by the education sector. You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then Wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. And mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You'll expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
$30,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up,
$10 or more.
sign up,
Just switch the flow.
get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
We flow,
Win a bag of money.
cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Thank you for staying with us. The Dominican public is being encouraged to support the staycation initiative when it comes on stream later this year. Andrea Louis reports.
The tourism and hospitality sector was dealt a devastating blow as the COVID-19 pandemic brought with it a halt to international travel and a standstill to the local tourism industry. According to President of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, Marvin Alexander James, the sector experienced 0% occupancy since March, with a loss in revenue of US $5 million and growing. Government has begun to ease the lockdown restrictions on the country, but borders remain closed. Mrs. James is encouraging the public to take advantage of the staycation packages, which the DHTA hopes to launch soon.
We expect that domestic tourism will begin first, where our locals who are unable to travel abroad for vacation will want to remain here to experience what Dominica has to offer. We are currently working with the Discover Dominica Authority on staycation, and we hope that this will be launched very soon as the restrictions are lifted. We encourage Dominicans to partake and to book a staycation whenever it is launched. They will not only be getting the opportunity to get away, to relax, and to enjoy what Dominica has to offer, but they will be supporting the local sector and the local economy.
The majority of hotel properties have suspended operations, with employees being laid off or placed on no-pay leave. The DHTA has presented a document to government under the broader umbrella of the Dominica Business Forum on the ways in which the authorities could assist the hospitality sector.
Some of the measures that we proposed include employee income support for persons who have lost their jobs, financial support to small service providers and hotels, and also fiscal incentives such as deferment of VAT payments and exemption of import duties on sanitation items and consumables. The industry at this time requires urgent support to sustain jobs and businesses and to ensure when the market rebounds that there is an industry to get back to.
Other stakeholders such as tour operators, taxi drivers, tour guides and vendors have also been severely impacted. The DHTA president says there are lessons to be learned from the impact of COVID-19, which should be centered on the employees.
It is imperative that some type of unemployment benefit scheme be set up to insulate tourism employees against loss of income as a result of disasters and events such as COVID-19. This could be a facility set up by the Dominica Social Security or through the associations and unions. This is something that the DHTA will definitely be looking into.
The month of May is also seen as Tourism Awareness Month and Hike Fest, both of which were affected by the COVID-19 crisis.
And the Caribbean Development Bank's newest facility, funded by the 11th European Development Fund EDF, is oversubscribed. The high demand for financing of interventions focused on enhancing the regional trading environment was evident by the overwhelming response to a call for proposals issued by the bank in February. Also known as the Caribbean Forum, CARIFORUM European Union Economic Partnership Agreement (EPA), and the Caribbean Community CARICOM Single Market and Economy Standby Facility for Capacity Building, the facility received close to 50 applications from 14 countries in the CARIFORUM region. CDB supported 28 trade-related projects under the 10th EDF. Daniel Best, Director of Projects at the bank, attributed the response of those seeking to access the €8.75 million resource to latent demand for such support across CARICOM.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. And mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et vite joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Away $30,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. A pledge by the Nurses Association to further restructure the service post-COVID-19 pandemic. DHTA President encourages Dominicans to support Staycation 2020. And COVID-19 forces the regional governments to revisit the way the CSMA is implemented. You can access our news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.